Hello everyone, welcome to another game. We are now going to play The Darkest Files. We'll see how that goes. I am feeling a bit tired, so I might be a bit slow. Also, heads up, there are flashing lights here, so do be careful. Alright, let's jump in. Dude, I am tired. I am feeling tired. My coffee's out. Alright, let's enjoy. We are going to do story mode. Events in our game are based off true crimes committed during the Nazi era, and we're investigate in the young Federal Republic of Germany. With the exception of Fritz Bauer, the names of all those involved have been changed. Any similarities with the existing of the same name are purely coincidental. Okay, good to know.
Frankfurt, West Germany, 1956. 11 years after the end of World War II, many crimes of the Nazi era still go unpunished. The perpetrators of these crimes are walking free. Many judges, prosecutors, and police officers have already served under the Nazis. Now they have no interest in prosecuting their former comrades for actions similar to their own. For the victims of these crimes, this is unbearable. To end this, Attorney General Fritz Bauer establishes a special unit of young prosecutors with no ties to the old regime. I am Esther Katz. I am one of these prosecutors. We are investigating Nazi crimes and bringing perpetrators to justice. Not to avenge, not to heal, but to show that there are laws that apply to all. It doesn't make us popular. Most want to forget. Some want us to shut up. But they cannot stop us. Nothing belongs to the past. Everything is still present and can become the future again.
The art style is gorgeous in this game. It is. I'm upping my volume because I want to listen. Maybe I'll put my mic a bit down so I'm not as loud. There we go. Alright, 11 September 1956. I might need to get some
First
more.
day, you've got this, Katz.
Dude, look how good this looks. So good. Tutorial available H. It's just basic control. Alternate hold there, accessible option of I can just move by right clicking. That's fine. Look at this lab. This game looks gorgeous. Gotta take a screenshot.
Looks more like somebody's home than a prosecutor's office.
Archive.
Not where I'd expect to find this office, to be honest. But it's a nice corner of Frankfurt nonetheless. I should try the coffee at Café Selten sometime. I've heard good things.
Ooh, coffee. I would drink another coffee right now if I could. Let's
Hello?
see.
Anybody here? Not much of a welcome party.
Let's get general. Okay, so I'm guessing we're gonna go to our apartment. Not apartment. Our office. Kitchen. New interaction. Use E while looking at highlighted objects to interact with. Objects above interaction highlighted in yellow. Oh, that's fine.
The door is locked.
Okay. Then that's locked as well. Ooh, fashion. Why? Why? Find my office. It's a bit of a challenge. Is it this one?
Good morning.
Oh, hello. Good morning. Sorry I didn't hear you enter. You must be Miss Katz, right?
Yes.
Esther Katz, yes, that would be me. And you are?
Paula Fischer. Hello. I'm a legal assistant here for Mr. Bauer's team. Well, the legal assistant. We're a bit understaffed at the moment.
It's nice to meet you, Paula.
Oh, it's my pleasure, believe me. I've brought you this week's newspaper and a letter that arrived for you. Anyway, I should probably be going. I'll be at my desk if you need anything. You'll find me.
What was he
through the
searching,
intercom.
though?
We just had the whole system installed. It made my life so much easier.
Thank you. Is there anything else?
Mr. Bauer wants to talk with you once you've acclimatized.
The hell
His
does that
words,
mean?
not mine. He should be arriving soon for that matter, so should the rest of the team.
I see. Very well then. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you on our team, Miss Katz.
All right then. First encounter, check. Time for me to settle in. Look at that. Written evidence of all those sleepless nights. And the ton of coffee.
Oh,
But here I am. I finally made it. Pretty sure it was all worth it.
oh, there's the. That looks so good. Oh, yeah, what's
The
this?
last holiday we spent together as a family. I'm so glad Dad made us do it. Franz was such a show-off that summer. Always trying to impress the...
What's this?
A
Okay.
new job deserves a fresh journal. Ready to be...
Notebook. Your notebook contains your current to-dos. Okay. Case file, pause menu. Okay. Dialogue log. That worries me. There's a dialogue mode. That means there's going to be a lot of chatting and there's a lot to keep track of. Oh, what is this? My dear daughter, my heartfelt congratulations on your promotion, being a state attorney. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Alright, JC Lair. Though it's great honor to work for the Attorney General directly, Dr. Burr is not always easy to work with, I hear, but people are saying a lot of good things about him too. Take care, buddy. So please don't let me spook you. I wish you all the best for your new position. No father has ever been proud of his daughter. We love you, father. P.S. Your mother asked if you're coming home at the weekend. I think she's still getting used to the fact that her daughter is working a job, not tending a family. Aw. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab some water and take off my contact lenses. Hold on. We are back. Let's do this.
No signal. The line must be dead. Maybe I should talk to Paula about it.
I wonder what Paolo is doing in this.
Miss Katz, how can I help you?
That will be all for now. Thank you, Paula.
Always happy to help.
That's one way for me to be annoying. It's the exact same picture. Rock and rolling, something, something. Okay. Newspaper, let's see. Responsible, detrimental to stability of the state. These were the words used to immerse of the Hazan state. With the next, yeah. I don't want to read all this, that's too much.
Miss Katz, how can I help you?
That will be all for now. Thank you, Paula.
Always happy to help.
That's good for you, I'm happy for you. So what's our goal for now? Settle in and unpack my belongings. Okay, I see. Or is that the last thing
I'm not
left?
letting you down. I swear.
My sister? Maybe? So now that there it is. I love the comics though.
Hello?
Mr. Bauer is ready for you. He says at your own time. With him, that means as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'd better get going then.
Good luck.
Alright. Bauer. It's probably him.
Miss Katz, welcome to the front line.
Getting some mafia vibes.
The front line, Dr. Bauer?
Just mister. We're working together here. And it's where you are now, at the edge of the enemy land. Believe me, when you leave this office, you'll enter hostile territory. My name, as you already know, is Fritz Bauer, General Prosecutor. Much to the displeasure of the public, I insist on investigating the many crimes committed under the NSDAP. Most of them, of course, have long since gone cold. And nobody out there truly wishes for us, for you, to solve them. Or frankly, to even touch them. A rather thankless job, may I say. Are you up for it?
I am, and I'm well aware of this.
You see, I'm not entirely sure of that. But no matter. Miss Katz, I believe I have the perfect case for you to start with.
I'm listening.
Hans Naumann, an older gentleman, shot just before the end of the war.
And why does this fall under our jurisdiction?
The suspects. According to the victim's wife, her husband was taken by uniformed men for no reason. He never came back. His body was found in a forest nearby after the war. Shot in the head.
I assume this isn't the first time she brought this case up?
No, it's not. Miss Naumann reported her husband's death to the police. A case was opened. The public prosecutor's office investigated members of the NSDAP local group. They're suspects. However, no charges were pressed. Based on the investigation, Hans Naumann was lawfully executed.
You don't think that's the case, do you?
I have my doubts. The first thing that I'll need you to establish is why Hans Naumann was taken. Depending on the answer, we'll see if the case warrants a full investigation. I asked Mrs. Fisher to prepare a file. It should probably already be on your desk. I suggest you familiarize yourself with it and invite the widow to give a statement. Mrs. Fisher should be able to help you with that.
Okay.
It might also be wise to check the archives. You never know what is hidden in these old boxes. Maybe something about this official order mentioned in the discontinuation report. Ask Mr. Bournemouth for the keys. I believe he has a spare set. Good luck, Miss Katz.
Thank you.
Right. Get the keys, check the files, and invite the first witness. And I need a refresher on the Nazi hierarchy. Understanding the chain of command will be crucial. Paula did say to ask her if I needed anything.
What's my... Read the case files. Paula to invite the first witness. Request documents of Nazi hierarchy from Paula. Look for unified documents about the resistance in the archive. Guess per QT archives from Mr. There it is.
Oh, hello. Oh, please, forgive the mess. I'm afraid I didn't have the time to clean up. Miss Katz, right?
Esther Katz, nice to meet you.
Pleasure is all mine.
Looks like he has a son.
Christoph Olmuth. Christoph, preferably. I try to be on first-name basis.
Is that usual here?
Not from what I can tell.
Let's stick to the usual then, shall we?
We are a small team. I'd love to tell you that we are small and tight-knit, but, well, happy to have more people join the fight. Especially someone like you.
Oh, you know what? Let me move my camera because it's getting in front of all the dialogues. Put it up here. That might be better because, like, it's getting in front of dialogues. Key to the archive.
Mr. Bauer said you have the keys to the archive?
I do. We all. Oh, the spare. I tend to keep 2 sets, as I'm somewhat prone to displacing them. Just let me find it. And there it is. The master key.
That was quick.
Be aware of its gifts.
The master key?
It's from a story I used to read. You know, don't mind me. Good luck in the archives.
Okay. So I think first things first, let's read the base file. Let's get as much information as we can about it before we start learning more. Case file bookmarks. Alright, let's have a look. Site category on the left side of the screen. Detailed document view and labeling. You can enlarge any document, click on it, and you can also add labels. Oh, fuck. There's so much. Okay. So, I will probably read through this. So, if you don't want me, good luck, but yeah. Alright, let's see. Official number, yep. Personal responsible, Wagner Manfred. That's gonna be something we might want to just mark, just so you see. Dear Ms. Brostian, the investigation to the death of Hans Naumann from Munich has revealed that he fell victim to a violent crime. For details, please see the attached file report. We're about to identify 4 possible suspects who were connected with the victim's disappearance. Probably gonna mark this too. The police investigation is thus considering closed, and we hereby officially turn the case over to your prosecutor's office. If you encounter any questions during the examination for an indictment, please do not hesitate to contact us at any time. Manfred Wagner. Okay, so far so good. Police report. On May 10th, 1945, a dead body was reported to the police in a wood area near Munich. The deceased was identified as Hans Naumann, age 77. The autopsy revealed that he was killed by a 7.65mm Browning caliber gunshot to the forehead at close range. No other injuries were found. The victim widow filed a criminal complaint against an unknown person on August 8, 1945. She had observed 2 men pick up her husband on April 28, 1945. He had been considered missing ever since. The 4 suspects identified in connection with the victim's disappearance were interrogated. All suspects testified that the victim was guilty of treason and was therefore lawfully executed. The evaluation of which crime has been committed is responsibility of the authorized prosecutor's office. However, Squads District Leader Munich Borough report on a record Mr. Block Warden Mittelrosmore saw a man climbing up the block's flagpole attempting to tear down the rage flag and replace it with a white flag. Mittelrosmore ordered the perpetrator to stop and attempt to approach him. The perpetrator attacked him and fled the scene. The block warden was injured in result. This name is certainly that he recognized a young resident of the block, Jan Naumann, as the perpetrator. Measures taken. Local road leader Feldman immediately set up a detachment to arrest and interrogate the suspect. Okay, there's the flag. Public prosecutor, yep. Parliament procedures against this 4. Dear Mr. Naumann, in the above-mentioned proceeding, we made the following decision. The proceeding shall be discontinued pursuant to the 170 Section 2 Code of Criminal Procedure. Reason, the victim Hans Naumann was a communist insurgent who carried out highly treasonable action in the wartime situation. The execution of the district leader was carried out according to law and enforced at the time of crime, and the office orders of regional leader Helmut Solbrink. Do we see this name here? No. Okay, so Mr. The proceeding against R. Feldman, to the basis of the law state below. Except from Article 103.2 of Basic Law 1945, an act may be punished only if it was punishable by law before the act was committed. Except for Article 91 Criminal Code of German Rage, anyone at home or as a German abroad who abets the hostile power during the war against Ray or cause will be sentenced to death or life imprisonment. As a German abroad. In view of those two laws, it's not possible to carry out further investigation into this case as is passed by according to the contemplated law in the... Okay. P.S. Please tell me what happened the 28th of April 90s. I remember that my esteemed colleague Alfred Fallon, the group leader of the local group I tasked with catching the criminal, came to my office. He told me that they got the traitor and gave his report from the arrest so that I could issue the official documents. I went to get with Mr. Fallman out into the hallway, which crimes the severity always give the same order, the order to execute. Then I told my driver to come with me to my office. The others went to the prisoner to carry out my order as requested. Your driver, what for? There was already unrest in the country because of the Americans who were just flooding in like flies. I want to stop an alternative route with my driver to avoid these Americans and still make it to my important appointment. Shortly before, there was already a polite knock at the door, and group leader Farman reported to me that the insurgent has been successfully executed. Okay, that's a bit weird though. Wasn't he like young? Okay, that's some stuff. Let's go into the archive, collect as much information as we can before we start. I think the archive was down the stairs, wasn't it?
Ooh, the smell. Brings me back to all the nights at the library.
To find the archive case file you're looking for, you need to connect the name to an archive number. Okay, so now, man, is that gonna be here? Oh, there's Hitler in here. There's so much. Oh, there's even case numbers. Hold on. We have number 5HN 1956. 5HN. So there's nothing about... Oh, there's more here. Okay, there's nothing up there for 5HN. There's nothing here for 5HN. There's so many files. Okay, so Feldman Alfred. Nothing about him. I'm not good with names. That's my only issue I'm gonna have here. Let's go with bookmarks. Let's go with 2. Feldman Alfred Kibitz Herman. The game wouldn't tell me to go in the archives without actually having something about him. Skiker Carl. Okay, S. Carl. If it goes alphabetical. No. Nothing about that either. Squartz Herbert. Maybe I'm approaching this wrong. I wonder. Let me have a look here. Not the case file. Archive research. When you look for archive case files, you first need to connect a name to an archive number. By using the file cabinet, you can then search for the number in the bookshelf. No, I see. Wait, was that? No, okay. Well, we'll come back in a bit for that one. Let's get as much
Miss
information.
Katz, how can I help you?
I need some additional files.
Something specific?
I need more details regarding NS organizations. Chains of commands, ranks, and badges. Anything you can get your hands on.
Of course, I'll get right to it. Anything else?
I need you to invite a potential witness.
Of course. Who should I reach out
Oh,
to?
look at the cat.
Ludmilla Naumann, the victim's widow. I want to hear her version of what happened.
Of course. I'm on top of it. Anything else?
Thank you, Paula. That will be all for now.
Here if you need anything.
Okay. About the resistance in the archive. So the resistance. So this here is about the resistance. John young resident. Was he like 77 years old? John Naumann. John Naumann. Oh, that's his wife. 7JN. 7JN 1956. It's probably in the above. There it is.
Found them. These seem relevant to our case.
In this most difficult time for our nation, more than ever, the responsible for German fate rests on all our shoulders. All Germans are called upon to fight against the traitor in our own country. The resistance is to be disarmed. The uprising have to be quelled. Anyone who propagates or approves of any measures that would weaken our resistance against the enemy is a traitor and must be shot. Interesting. Any attempt at insubordination must be met with immediate removal from all public positions and expulsion from the party. The name of Germany will not be tarnished. I trust in your confidence, your absolute allegiance and discipline. Interesting. Citizens, the war is over. The oppression have lost. Do not defend the city against the Allies. Avoid unnecessary bloodshed. Tear down the range flags from the roofs. Raise the white flags. We can welcome our liberators. Freedom is near. Death to the Nazi criminals. Join the campaign to liberate. Okay. That's some information there.
Paula, how often do I need to tell you that my plaque belongs on my door and not on the floor?
That voice. Oh no.
And how often do I need to remind you that I am not your handyman?
Just fix my door, Paula!
Ugh, I need to check it.
Check who's the first co-worker. Why, where are they? Oh, in my office. There it is.
This better be about my door, Paula.
Okay.
Tell me this is a joke.
Hello, Peters.
Falda, what are you doing here, Katz?
Funny. I was just about to ask you the same thing.
I work here, Katz. I'm Mr. Bauer's right-hand man. And I'm so sorry, but we don't really do marriage disputes for bored housewives here, you know?
As a matter of fact, I work here as well.
Ooh, you tell him.
And I must say, this job just got much less appealing.
Just my luck. So you're the new hire, Katz.
In the
Yeah.
flesh.
You won't last a week.
You did. So I'm sure I'll manage.
Ooh.
Just you watch. I'll outlast you, you'll see.
Classy, as always. You know what? I don't have time for this. Get out of my office, Katz. Try not to embarrass yourself.
There's nothing left for me to do. I should call it a day.
All day. Ending the day. Once all your manual tasks are complete, you can go to the main door in the lobby downstairs, end the day, and begin the next chapter. Okay. We're sprinting. Whee! The widow. Okay. Get to work. Yeah.
Miss Katz, if you'd have a moment,
Yes, Paula?
I found some documents you asked for. They're waiting in your inbox. Oh, and there was a call for you. Asked for you to call back. I wrote down the number, left it with the files.
Who called me?
I'm afraid he didn't give a name. An older man, I'd say. Sounded very proper, even if he did ignore my questions. Oh, he referred to you just by name, Esther.
I have an inbox?
We all do, apart from Mr. Peters. He demands everything be handed to him personally, as if we weren't already understaffed. I set yours on your desk. It's where I'll be leaving any letters or files for you. And a daily agenda, if that's needed.
Thank you, Paula.
Okay, thank you, Paula.
Civil codes, Bereichsgesetz, Seneca, and some Frankel and Neumann. Quite a collection. Wait, is that a Sachenspiegel? I think Dad had a copy of this edition. Time to get started.
Yeah. Here it is. I wrote down number that you should call back when you have time. Miss Norman will be arriving soon. Please update Miss Abba after the interrogation. Alright, let's see. That's the ranks. Uniforms. Leadership. What is this? Okay. Deputy worker. District leader. Head office worker. Local base manager worker. I feel like I might need this. Following the Hitler appointment of Chancellor in 1933 election, the party's structure began to intertwine with the subsumed that of state apparatus. While state and regional government were not outright dissolved, their significance and authority were heavily diminished in favor of Gaue, regional associate of NSDAP. At the head of the Gaue stood appointed directly by Hitler, responsible for coordinating all the party related to activities in the region and for ensuring authority and influence. Is that the top rank? It's not outright dissolved. Their significant authority were heavily diminished in favor of Gao regional associate. Yeah, at the head of Gao stood Gauleiter. Okay, there it is. Appointed, directed by Hitler, responsible for coordinating all party-related activities in the region and for ensuring authority influence. To facilitate those goals, Gao authority often overlapped and overruled that of local officials. This authority extended to the party members that were part of its office and subdivisions, district, local groups, calls, and blocks. Okay. Interesting. There's few ranks here. Junior officer, junior sergeant. Over 6 year servers. With the German rearmament of the establishment of oh my god, there's so much to read. The procedure is nearly tripling. As this breach of limitation pros Germany by... Just because I know I'm going to need the ranks, I'm going to bookmark them. It's like the different ranks. The state protocol police, Shubo, was the uniformed police in the majority of German cities and major towns. As division of the order police, its members were easily recognized for the green uniform and colloquially referenced with this color. Well, let's see what uniform we find before we start referencing this. Federal Minister of Foreign Affairs remains opposed to the... Okay.
I still can't believe Peters is working here. Peters. I wonder if anybody can tell me how this happened.
Hey, look at that.
Paula?
Mrs. Naumann just arrived. I showed her to the conference room.
Thank you. I'll be right there.
Alright, let's do the interrogations. Is ready to be questioned. Paula informing you about intercom. You can then enter the conference room and start questioning the witness. There you can ask them about their version of events. Is that the cat?
Well, hello. And who would you be?
I'm so fucking cute.
That's Marlene. My son turned out to be allergic, so Mr. Bauer agreed to have her stay here for now.
So cute.
Looking forward to working with you, Marlene.
Oh, it's so cute. Okay, let's do this. Let's interrogate this poor old woman.
You must be Mrs. Naumann. Thank you for coming. My name is Esther Katz. I am one of the prosecutors in Attorney General Bauer's team.
Good morning, Miss Katz. I am very grateful that you found the time. The last prosecutor who looked into my husband's death didn't even speak to me. He dismissed the case, claiming my husband was rightfully executed as a traitor.
Did your husband do anything for which he could be accused of treason?
Of course not. The men that took him weren't even looking for him.
I see. I know it's not easy, but please take me through the day your husband was taken.
Oh, we get the visual.
It was in April 45, only days before the Americans came.
Where were you that day?
Home. We lived in a small house. Hans was upstairs when the doorbell rang, before someone hammered against the door.
Do you remember what time of the day it was?
We just had lunch, so it must have been close to 1 p.m.
Interesting.
Did you and your husband live alone?
No, there was also our son Jan. He insisted on staying with us to help around the house, at least until the end of the war. But he wasn't in. He went out in the morning before we woke up.
Wonder if there's anything else. There should be one more thing to interact. Is it the door?
When you opened the door, who was it?
There were 2 men. One of them was pointing a gun at me.
Do you remember what they looked like?
Both wore uniforms. Brown ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Brown. Police have green.
Did they belong to the Wehrmacht?
No. Not Wehrmacht and not police either. Maybe some kind of party officials or something. One of them was small, thin. He wore glasses, I remember that. The second man was bigger. He was the one pointing the gun at me. He seemed to be in charge.
What made you think that?
He had 2 golden stripes on his uniform, and he was bossing the small one around. He yelled and waved his gun around to scare me.
Let me stop you for a second. These stripes on his uniform...
There you go. Golden stripes on the uniform. It wasn't green. So this is definitely not it because that's green. He had 2 golden stripes on his uniform. It can't be this one, so it has to be this one. Because I don't think there's another one that has golden stripes.
Could one of these be the badge you saw?
Let me see. Yes, that's the one here.
Perfect.
The local group leader. That's the one.
That is very useful. Thank you.
Case rating. Once the case has been completed, you receive evaluation.
Please
Okay.
continue.
They demanded to speak to Mr. Naumann. The gun was still there and I was just so afraid I couldn't even move. Hans came down and asked them what they wanted. They demanded to know if there was anyone with us. When we said no, the smaller guy looked in the other rooms. He found no one. It was only Hans and I. Then the big one told Hans that he had to come with them for questioning.
They didn't want other proof.
Did they say why they were questioning him?
No, they did not. They ignored Hans when he asked for their reason. Then everything happened so fast. The small one said they'd let him go if our son would turn himself in. Then they just herded him out, like an animal.
Did you see something outside?
It has been a while, I'm not exactly sure. There was a car, I think. Yes, one of those big, terrible trucks that they used.
I remember them. They were just everywhere.
Interesting. What's the time there? Can I go upstairs? I can't. That's everything memory-wise.
This was the last time I saw him alive. Me and my son never got the chance to say goodbye.
What was that man's comment about your son?
Jan. He was living with us at that time, but he didn't show up that night or the following. He got into some trouble. Bad trouble.
Do you think the men were looking for your son?
I believe so, yes. At least that's what they said. But the previous prosecutor...
Wait a second. I think it was mentioned somewhere.
Is there proof the men were looking for her son? There is proof. It was this one.
Please, take a look.
Oh God. Here it is. He recognized him as Jan Naumann. I can't believe there was proof all along. And the former prosecutor just dismissed it. How could he?
I wish I knew. I am really sorry. Please, continue. What happened upon your son's return?
When Jan finally came back, it was already too late. We asked the authorities about Hans, but they pretended not to know anything. After war, my husband was found dead in a forest nearby. Shot. I believe he died the same day they took him.
I would really like to talk to your son about it.
You and I both, dear. But I am afraid that's not possible. Jan died only a few months after his father. Pneumonia.
No.
Hans was innocent. They killed him, and that's murder. No matter what they call it.
I hear you, Mrs. Naumann.
Please, Miss Katz. Will you find the man?
Yeah.
I will do my very best.
Never say
Thank
promise. Remember
We
that.
will let you know if we have enough for an indictment. Please, Paula will help you to the door. Goodbye. I should update Mr. Bauer.
So, just before we go into it, I want to check real quick on the ranks. Do I have them here? Bookmarks. So here's the ranks. So it's this. So they were like wearing gold badges. So we know that.
Hello, Miss Katz. Any news regarding the Naumann case?
Yes, I think so. After talking to Mrs. Naumann, it seems like Hans Naumann was indeed innocent. The men were looking for his son, Jan Naumann. When they couldn't find Jan, they took Hans instead, the father.
I assume that's what Miss Naumann told you. But are you sure she is telling the truth?
According to the files, the man they were looking for had climbed up a flagpole, torn down a flag, and beaten up a block warden when he was caught in the act. Hans Naumann was 77 years old at the time. Of course, there are older men who are in good shape, but
Pulling down a flag and beating someone up seems unlikely. I understand.
yes,
I see, but why did the man take him if they knew he was innocent?
according to Mrs. Naumann, they took him as a hostage. They were hoping his son, Jan, would surrender once he learned that they had his father.
Highly illegal, even back then. Not uncommon, though. But why did they shoot the old man?
That I don't know yet, but I believe this is definitely a case for us.
It is, indeed. I will officially reopen the investigations tomorrow. You need to find out who was at the crime scene when Hans Naumann was shot. We need witnesses.
I'd start with the names mentioned in the files of the first investigation.
Excellent. Let's get this case to court, Miss Katz. And be mindful of time. We do not have nearly enough of it here. Since you have never led a case before, I want you to be prepared. Mr. Peters has agreed to look over your shoulder and help you out. Present your findings, prove your claims. Please reach out to him.
I'll do what I can. I'll need Paula to get me more information on the suspects. And I suppose I should share the good news with Peters. Just great.
Something just fucking fell here. That scared me.
That poor man. And that poor woman. She lost everyone she loved in a matter of a few months. I really hope we can help her.
I hope so too.
I hope so
Anything
too.
I can do?
I need some additional files.
I looked into the NSDAP local group from the original investigation.
Only a few documents survived the bombing, but I found a group photo and a member list from a few years before the incident. I took the liberty of marking the suspects. One of them, Mr. Schwarz, is dead.
Well, that was quick.
Just doing my job. Any other documents I can get for you?
The member list is helpful, but I'd still need something more about our suspects. Can you get me their files?
I'll reach out to the Berlin Document Center. But, just so you know, they tend to take their time. Anything else?
I need you to invite a potential witness.
Of course. Who should I reach out to?
Let me think about
Let me
it.
get back to you, Paula.
Sure, just let me know before you leave.
I need that picture. Is he here?
Who do I want to call?
Hello?
Father? I didn't expect you'd call me here.
Oh, Esther, my dear, so good to hear you. Did you settle in all right?
I have great colleagues. Well, most of them. And I believe I can do a lot of good here.
I see. Esther, there's something I want to discuss. Do you remember our little talk? It must have been last month.
I don't recall.
Then you should pay better attention. It pays off in our line of work. It is about the job at Bergmann, Kranich and Partners. Family law. Very respectable.
Dad, I'm really busy here. Can we talk about this another time?
Esther, let me be very frank with you. I'm proud of you. I really am. A prosecutor at your age, with the view on women on our line of work being what it is, I'd have to be a fool not to. But your mother and I, we are worried. Do you have any idea what they say about Bauer?
There are those who hate him. It means he's on the right track.
To be young and so naive again. He's hated because he's on a witch hunt. Listen to your father. Leave. Nothing good will come from this.
I'll think about it, Dad.
Please do. I just want what's best for you, Essie.
I know, Dad.
I'm proud of you. I know I already said that, but I really am. Like you can't imagine.
Let's have a look here. Here's a transcript of our conversation. He's a nice dad. Okay, suspects. My guess is gonna be this two. He wore glasses. I don't know who this is. So we definitely want. So who passed away? Okay. Feldman Alfred. So we definitely want to get the HK guy. So that's Kibitz Herman. Let's ask him.
Miss Katz, how can I help you?
I need you to invite a potential witness.
Of course. Who should I reach out to?
Please invite Mr. Kibitz.
We'll reach out immediately. Anything else?
Thank you, Paula. That will be all for now.
Here if you need anything.
What am I missing here as well? I got a few more things for today. The interviewer fell to him. He was taken as a hostage. Why was he killed then? True, we don't know yet. Meet with Simon Pierce. Hello, cat.
I had a talk with Mr. Bauer. He wants us to get along, to work together.
I've heard.
Let's just be adults about it, Peters. Peters?
Yes, I've heard you, Katz. Fine. Here's what we're going to do. Let's just call it a truce. I won't interfere with your casework if you stay away from mine. Agreed?
Agreed.
Good. And as for this whole preparing you for court situation, I swear to God, but there is no point discussing it before you've met the witnesses anyway.
Thank you for thinking I'm a total beginner.
Oh, you're welcome. Someone has to do it, since Mr. Bauer apparently overestimates your abilities. Anyway, get through at least some of your witnesses, and we can get it over with. And while we're at it, don't forget to bring some evidence. I don't want us to improvise the whole thing.
There's nothing left for me to do. I should call it a
Evidence.
day.
Quite an interesting story so far. I mean, that's the point of his character. You must have an annoying character. The first suspect.
Good morning, Miss Katz.
Good morning. Let's check the mail. First aspect where I soon inform Mr. Bow with the latest developments about the case. No end to Suit's crisis. As a representative of the Indian government involved in the begin to leave London, the truth remained unchanged. Despite the exchange, I showed the continued support. Yeah, no post finally. Examine the first suspect.
Miss Katz, excuse me. The witness you asked me to contact, Hermann Kiewitz, just arrived.
Thank you, Paula. I'll be joining you in a minute.
Sprint! Let's do this.
Good morning. My name is Esther Katz.
A pleasure, miss. Could you tell me how long I have to wait for the prosecutor?
Mr. Kiewitz, I'm the prosecutor here.
Oh, modern times, I guess.
Oh,
How long will this take?
It will take as long as it takes.
I'm establishing my
It's all
ground
right,
here.
miss. I'm just asking.
Let's get started, shall we? This is about the arrest of Hans Naumann in Munich on April 28, 1945. According to a witness, 2 men picked up Mr. Naumann from his apartment. Were you one of them?
You're pretty, you know that?
Mr. Kiewitz, were you one of those men?
No, I wasn't. We drove to the house. Then our group leader and Mr. Schickert got out of the car to arrest the man.
Different story.
Then they tossed the old man into the car and headed to the district office.
The district office. Where was it located?
We just had moved it into the basement of an old brewery, still stuffed with beer bottles and barrels. District Leader Schwarz came out and gave the command.
The HUD shows you currently the goal and the names of people present in memories. To enable the HUD, hold spacebar. Let me have a look here. What did he say?
What command? What did he say?
He ordered us to execute the man. Then he left. I felt uneasy. This wasn't right.
So there's about 25 information in this whole interaction.
We followed group leader Falkman to the cell. There was tension.
There was tension.
This must be the cell. Could you describe the cell?
Very basic. Mattress, window, chair.
Okay.
What was Mr. Falkman doing?
Group leader Falkman seemed to hesitate. He shared my concerns about killing the old sod. He told us to wait.
Interesting.
Yet Schickert insisted. He referred to that new order about dealing with insurgents. He was such a stickler for the rules. He could be really annoying about these things.
What did he say?
He yelled he would report us to the Gestapo. Faced with this open threat of being denounced, we did not dare to act.
The tension was strong. Group leader Falkman ordered us to wait once more. But Schickert drew his gun and shot him.
What weapons did the people present have? Standard issue equipment?
We could wish. Those were the last days. We had almost nothing left. Rifles, pistols, ammunition. We had to use whatever was somehow left, so what we managed to get out of the ruins.
Interesting. I should ask Paula if she can find any information about this.
After interrogation, you can explore and investigate your surroundings for further unlock new research opportunities and
Were the compartments prepared to host prisoners?
Kind of. We adjusted them so our prisoner could stay there for interrogations and not get out.
For how long were the prisoners held in these cells?
Mostly around a week.
How did you ensure the energy supply?
The district struggled to produce enough energy. There were frequent power failures. For emergency, we had a generator. If worst came to worst, we used oil lamps.
Oh, there's more stuff in here.
Being locked in a cell like this, not knowing what would happen next, this must have been so hard.
Yeah, but why did they... No, wait.
Was your local group in contact with other local groups?
Just in Bavaria, there were 28 local groups. We were in constant contact with them.
I can still hear the sirens in my head. They seem to last forever. But it may just have been a minute, full of despair. If you survived it. Were there any other prisoners at that time?
Obviously, yes. We had to put the traitors somewhere. We adapted part of the storage rooms as cells.
I think I'm still missing something. Was Mr. Schwarz involved in the execution?
He gave the orders, but the members of the local group were responsible for carrying them out. Surely you can't expect a busy man like the district leader to attend every execution in person.
There was no execution order in the files I got. If it exists, I should check if I can get my hands on it. For how long did Mr. Feldman talk to Mr. Schwarz?
Miss, it was over 10 years ago. I don't remember. Couldn't have been too long, as Mr. Schicker didn't have enough time to really get on my nerves.
Did Mr. Schwarz even get to see the victim Hans Naumann?
Not entirely sure. He was in his office when we brought the perpetrator.
The victim?
The victim into a cell.
If Schwarz didn't see the victim, did he know they had the wrong man? What did he know?
There's gonna be a lot of documents I'm gonna have to go over.
Spending entire days in a damp cellar. They must have been bored and tried to pass the time. Why did you relocate the office?
Because of a big air raid. We wanted to be underground. We hoped that we would be safer there.
What were your local group's responsibilities in the very last days of the war?
We were responsible for all concerns and for many households within Munich. Above all, we tried to eliminate insurgencies.
How many people were in your local group?
Around 10, but we were never all present at the same time due to shifts and different responsibilities.
11, 12. No, we were down to 11 then. The Gestapo took Ludolf back in January.
So the Gestapo threat wasn't something new.
Interesting.
Were summary executions common?
In those days, yes.
Some more hints I'm missing.
They must have had petrol to run the generator, or to destroy evidence. We had these oil lamps everywhere. In the bathroom, in the living room, in the kitchen.
Definitely missing some information here. What am I missing? 25 of them, there's quite a bit of them. Feel like there's a good chance it's in the office that I walked by accident.
How did Mr. Schwarz's office look like?
Quite fancy given the circumstances. Leather chair, massive oak desk. District Leader Schwarz cared about showing off.
I'm missing something. Some more things. There it is.
What were Mr. Schwarz's responsibilities as a district leader?
He was responsible for organizing relief measures for the party during air raids, coordinating local groups, providing food and emergency quarters. He had also found the brewery for us and organized the move.
They should consider the chain of command. How was working under Mr. Feldman?
Great. He was a good leader and a better man. It was a pleasure to work with him. Even though some people might have disagreed, we had our share of malcontents in the group. But he knew how to deal with them effectively.
Interesting. I should ask Paula if she can find any information about this. How was your relationship to Mr. Schwarz?
He treated me fairly and friendly. I learned a lot from him.
That's it.
What were your responsibilities in your local group?
Most of the time I accompanied District Leader Schwarz and drove him when he needed a driver. He knew how to convey power and discipline.
Interesting. I should ask Paula if she can find any information about this. How did you and Mr. Schickert get along?
He and I didn't have much to do with each other. We were just part of the same local group. He was no feast for the eyes, a cranky guy. Strange. Always strict with his work, but annoying.
It's weird
from time
how
to
he's
time.
labeling
He was
him.
obsessed with Prussian virtues.
It's weird how they're kind of labeling him, I'm gonna be honest with you. Hold on, I pulled out my mouse by accident. There we go. It's, getting the feeling something is missing here information-wise. Something is not being told. And I'm missing one information. I'm missing something, but what? What am I missing here? Kind of explored everything. I don't know what. I think there's like one more thing left. I want to find everything. That's the key point here. Alright, let's do corner to corner, and then we'll find it. So first I'm gonna go here. We're gonna do corner to corner. Check everything. There's the bullet. There it is.
You said Mr. Schickert shot him with his gun. What was it?
Ooh.
His service weapon? What model?
Service weapon, I suppose. And I don't remember the model. I've never been good with them.
I know what weapon was used to kill the man. I just need to know who had it. So what you are saying is, Schickert shot the old man against Mr. Feldman's order?
Exactly.
That's horrible.
So the question...
These are brutal events you're getting to hear here. Are you sure you're up for it? Honestly, no one would think this is a job for a woman. What do you have to prove? I will file a formal complaint.
What would you like to complain about?
About talking to you instead of a real prosecutor.
Oh,
I see.
come on.
Well, if you think that's necessary, go ahead. Thank you for your time, Mr. Kibitz.
Goodbye, Miss Katz.
I should update Mr. Bauer.
I wouldn't bother.
Why?
Did you see Mr. Bauer?
I wish I did. He got a call and had to leave. Urgently. Let me tell you, he was in quite the rush. Murmuring something about Argentina, of all places.
Guess I won't be updating him today. I need some additional files.
Oh, wow.
Is there any chance some files regarding the group members' responsibilities remain?
That is-
Mr. Kibitzer specifically. I want to know if he at any point worked directly for the district leader.
I'll see what I can do.
Anything else?
One of the suspects mentioned something interesting about Mr. Feldman. Could you check if there was anything strange happening with his subordinates? Threats, blackmail, anything?
Of course. I'll start looking.
I need information on the equipment used by the local group. Weapons, mainly. As bureaucratic as the NSDAP was, they must have kept some sort of record.
On it.
According to the suspects, the shooting was ordered by the deceased Mr. Schwartz. But I saw no copy of such an order in the original case's files.
That's weird. I'll look into it right away.
There's a chance that Mr. Schwartz did not see the victim himself. If that's the case, my question is, what did he see? What did he know when he ordered the execution? I'm going to need whatever files would have been on his desk on that day. All that he could know about the victim. Arrest report, personal file, records, intake forms, whatever there is.
That's quite a wide net. I'm on it, of course.
Anything else?
I need you to invite a potential witness.
Of course. Who should I reach out to?
Please invite Mr. Schickert next.
We'll reach out immediately.
Oh, and did you have the chance to talk to Mr. Wohlmuth yet? He found the blueprint of the old brewery that you might find useful. It's where the district office was located at the time of Mr. Naumann's arrest.
Thank you, Paula. That will be all for now.
Well, I'm sure glad that is over. A second more and I might have punched him myself.
Me? Oh, the other guy. He was a bit of a dick, honestly.
Who do I want to call? No luck. That's weird. He should be in.
Okay, that's fine. Alright. Do we have any new? We have the transcript from today. There's quite a bit of information we gotta work with. So, Mr. is here. Let's see what information you can give us.
Miss Katz, welcome.
Good day, Mr. Wohlmuth.
Actually, before you start, would you mind if for a change I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Am I wrong, or have you and our resident pessimist met before? I mean Simon, or Mr. Peters, if you prefer.
We do know each other. Not closely, but enough. We study together. I didn't really expect to see him for a while after that, to be honest. Especially not here. Not someone who'd take a job like this. Or so I thought. So yes, we've met before.
Was he always this much of an ass?
He actually got better, if you'd believe it.
No.
Really, he was much worse. So, what about you?
Me?
What do you make of him?
Oh, he's a nasty piece of work. Unpleasant to be around. He makes everyone around him miserable.
Oh.
But he's a capable prosecutor. Very capable indeed. I'm glad he's on our side. Anyways, is there something else I can help you with?
Paula told me you have something for me. Some sort of blueprint?
Right. Let me just see, where did I put it? What a mess. I've been just buried in all of these papers since morning. Altöttinger Straße 35. There we go. As we can hardly access the original crime scenes, blueprints like this ones are our second best thing. They are what you will be using in court to reconstruct your case.
Thank you.
It's not a problem at all. We need to have each other's backs here. So, who do you think did it?
I'm sorry?
The old man. Who shot him?
Cause of the crime, divide into 5 steps. Each step is connected with a question that you answer by reconstructing a blueprint. The answer to Crystal's question, jump to step 5. The last step is to find out who pulled the trigger. Choose a figure and assign the action to determine the shooter. So, select Corbett. Snaker, carrot, keyboards, and short nuggets. Here you can read what your witness has stated. As soon as you have questioned more suspect, their statements will appear here. Snaker, carry out the order shot. Okay. So then it was probably him. Okay. Good to know. Anything else I got left for the day? Wait, that's the whole
Esther, right?
I hope I'm...
I'm just so... I got a bit lost in it. Either way, forget it. What can...
I had some... I have...
Who would that...
What can you tell me about Mr. Bauer?
He's the reason we are all... You don't see many people in this...
Unfortunately...
He's... But himself, he is demanding. But in a...
I have a different... Can I...
I mean,
I think that's all for now.
Knowing too much is never beneficial. Will I be able to see the blueprint here? Hey man, doing alright. How you doing? We're being detectives, solving crimes here. Based on a true story, by the way. How cool is that? I think I bugged it. Review transcript from today's investigations. We go here. As you should. As you should. I currently need to figure out some stuff. So, let's look at the transcript. This, unless there's a way for me to do the blueprint, I think this is bugged. Where is the blueprint? Is it gonna be here by my office?
Miss Katz, how can I help you?
Any updates on the suspect's personnel files?
I've made the request, but no news since then.
Oh, there's the blueprint.
Berlin's as silent as always.
Thank you, Paula. That will be all for now.
There it is. Okay, so it's in my office. So far, we have him shot so far. I did. It's here. I gotta figure out why the blueprint isn't working.
Well,
Can I... How long... And before...
didn't...
Sorry, I'm skipping a bit, but like, I need to
The
figure out
cases
why.
we were...
I was a bit surprised.
Right. So,
Have you...
you...
I have some... You.
Dan, they're just... The name's... Though...
You...
Does...
So...
Don't... And I've never been much of too many...
I'm sorry.
No...
I have a dip. I have...
Who...
Our league...
But don't...
This place falls...
I'm kind of...
Coffee?
Don't. Trust me on that.
What do you mean? What?
Which again? It might have something...
I have a different question.
I
I think
need
that's all for now.
Don't be a...
I've done all of them. You know what? It's fine. Welcome back, OJ. This is bugged, but it's fine. The first suspect. Also, it autosaves constantly. 120. I love the style of this game. The art style is gorgeous. Yeah, but I can't ask him. I don't know why.
Well, hello.
I think that's all for now.
It's gone, like, it...
Don't be a stranger.
I glitched it somehow. Alright, let me load the game. I will try and load.
Well,
I think that's all for now.
Okay.
don't...
I'm gonna have to keep going back before I talk to him. Can't believe the blueprint bugged out.
Good morning.
No, I am not doing that again. Speaking of which, actually, you know what? Okay. Should work now. Okay. Continue. Yeah, we got the emotes. Okay, I bugged the office. I'm in his office now. What? How? I guess... I glitched this again. Okay. I'm somehow glitching the game. I present you, Bob. Okay, let's do this again.
Miss Katz. Welcome.
Good day, Mr.
Actually, but would you mind...
Go ahead.
Am I wrong? I mean,
We do. So, yeah.
was he always...
He actually got...
No.
Really? He was much worse.
I gotta skip the dialogue because this...
So,
Me?
what do you make?
Oh, he's a nasty piece of work.
Oh.
But he's a capable
I'm
prosecutor.
presenting
Very
Bob. He's
capable indeed.
fabulous.
I'm glad he's on our side. Anyways, is there something else I can help you with?
Paula
There you go.
told me you have something for me. Some...
Right. What a man. As we can hardly... They are...
Thank you.
It's not a problem.
I've...
So,
I'm sorry?
the old man.
Okay, yeah, I know about this. 5th. And then...
I think it could have been Schickert.
And is that what your witness told you?
Yes, it is.
Just remember, you can't always trust what they say.
Oh, I don't trust
People
them.
lie, misremember, make honest mistakes, even more so when they're potential suspects. Our role
He's
isn't to
getting fame.
retell the testimonies in court, but to build theories of what actually happened, which might be different from what any witness tells you. But here I go, babbling away again. Sorry. Shouldn't keep you any longer. Hope you find the blueprint useful.
Don't worry. I'd say this talk was...
Anytime. Don't be a stranger.
There's nothing left for me to do. I should call it a day.
Review transcript from today's investigation. Let me do that real quick. This one is an easy one to do. You go case files, you go transcript, and then you go bum. Now the full day's done. Somehow we found 2 bugs in one go. That is funny. So funny.
I'm glad I brought my own umbrella.
That's
I
good for
do
you.
hate this time of...
But on her first case.
Still, functioning free press is simply crucial to the...
Wait, shh, I think she's coming up.
Yeah, that's fine. Is there a name I can work here with? I think it's like witnesses and stuff.
Good morning, Miss Katz. Have you seen the news yet?
So, what were you saying about these news?
Oh, there's an article in today's Blatt. Have you seen it?
That tabloid?
That might still be too nice a word for them. A filthy rag slandering you with lies, Miss Katz.
Right.
Good. Yes, that's exact. They aren't worth... Don't even give it a second thought.
If they're angry, it means...
That's the spirit.
Okay. Let's look at our daily tasks for today. Second suspect or Boone. Update Mr. Boone with the latest conclusion after the second interrogation. Oh, is this the files? Okay. We received some files that should have been contained in the information Mr. Carpets asked for. Sadly, they were badly burned during the bombing. I hope they can still be of use. Driven for military train, local... I don't know what I can use this for. I found an alert about Mr. Feldman concerning one of his subordinates. The concerning incident with the dispatcher was arrested by 5th January 19. All ranks that Elstig held in the local group are revoked from him. Elstig is not allowed to join a party and is serving a prison sentence. Okay. You were right about NDCB bureaucracy. They kept track of everything. A full list of weapons that were issued to our group members around the time. Wait, we have this. I don't know how it's possible that the previous prosecutor overlooked this. I found Scott's order and turns out even it refers specifically John. First and last name John. No man. Yeah. Arrested 28th Ford 19. Currently in the NSV. Oh, it was falsely made. Squads made it. Oh, for his involvement in treason activity, the prisoner to be immediately executed traitor to was recorded as the. Wait, who arrested him? Was recognized as the purpose of the organized operation deliberately aimed weakening the people's resistance against invading forces. Oh, this is important. That's something interesting. There's a detection report matching our data in place. Just see for yourself. Alfred. Detention report. Hazard General Prosecutor Barpolon continues as his special division once again finds itself on the spotlight. Concerns being raised regarding possible misuse of public funds, which some claim currently being wasted on reopening long since solved cases. According to our resources, such investigation are further compromised by inexperience overzealousness of team younger prosecutors. Oh, come on. Hold on. We have good files now.
Yes, Paula?
The witness you asked me to contact, Carl Schickert, just arrived.
Thank you. I'll be joining you in a minute.
Hold on. Before we go, what was the gun used? 7.65mm brown caliber. Brown caliber. There it is. I think it's this one, isn't it? 7. Fuck, I forgot about it. Okay, let's add to bookmark, because this is also important, because it states the game. This doesn't really help us much. Group worker deserted. Okay, so this here, 765 mm Browning caliber, which in our file here matches with this. So this guy died, who was the leader, so we can never know exactly what happened. 765 caliber. Okay. Plus we need this. This is going to be important documents. Okay. This one is going to get intense. We're going to start breaking it down.
I didn't expect you yet.
Arriving on time means you're 15 minutes late.
I'm glad you're so cooperative.
Oh, you got a
Thank you for
mustache.
coming. My name is Esther Katz. I am the prosecutor in charge. I'll cut right to the chase. What happened on the 28th of April back in 45?
So, you're finally reopening the case, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, we do. There are questions that have to be resolved.
It is time for some gentlemen to answer for what happened back then.
Just to be clear, you are referring to?
Kibitz and local group leader Feitmann.
So, your superior and your colleague. What had happened?
On that day, Feitmann, Kibitz and I had captured an alleged insurgent. We had taken him to the district office and locked him in a cell. It was an old man.
Was his name Hans Naumann?
Here we go.
It's more than 10 years ago. I'm pretty certain that this was his name, yes.
Please describe the situation.
Shortly after, the two men came out. Pointing to the cells, the district leader gave the command.
What kind of command?
He ordered us to shoot the prisoner.
Okay, same command.
Were there any other prisoners at that time?
No, the old man was the only one that day.
Ooh, contradictions in stories.
Why did you relocate the office?
Because of the big air raid, we wanted to be underground.
That's the same.
We hoped that we would be safer there.
Can you tell me more about your local group?
We mainly wrote reports and helped in the district where help was needed.
Were your group's actions documented?
Certainly, but that wasn't my task. District leader Schwarz took care of it. But most of those files were destroyed, unfortunately.
If somebody did stay with Schwarz, it could have been documented somewhere. How was working with Mr. Feitmann?
A power-hungry bully who kisses his boss's butts and belittled his subordinates. And that's if you were on his good side. Let's say his threats shouldn't be taken lightly.
How was working under District Leader Schwarz?
He was a strict man with defined values. Easy to work under because he was so organized and knew the strengths and weaknesses of each member.
Okay.
How did you and Mr. Kibitz get along? You both held the same title?
Mr. Kibitz. Yes, we both were local group members. We did not get along so well.
Interesting.
How did you fit into this local group?
I have always proudly done my duty. I oversaw security.
How did the members of your group spend their free time?
They went drinking together. Not me, though. I don't drink. I prefer being home early and getting a healthy sleep.
Was it common for prisoners to be executed?
No, we were a local group, not the SS.
Interesting.
The district leader returned to his office together with Mr. Kibitz. Mr. Feldman asked me to follow him. Together we walked down the corridor to the cell where the old man was kept.
I can still hear the air raid siren in my head. I remember Mom waking me up. Pack your things, get into the basement. How did you make sure you had enough electricity?
We had a generator for power outages and oil lamps.
Okay. His story consistent with certain topics, but then...
Was your local group in contact with other local groups?
We were in permanent contact with all the other Bavarian groups.
Did prisoners ever stay longer?
A couple of days maximum. They were here for interrogations.
The other guy said a week?
Who prepared the cells for prisoners?
A few colleagues from the local group. It did not take much to set up. With a bucket and a mattress, it was done.
Just a bucket and that's it?
They were prisoners.
Fair point.
What did Mr. Feldman do?
The group leader raised his voice.
Do you remember his words?
He told me to shoot the prisoner.
And did you shoot the prisoner?
No, I did not. The man was clearly innocent.
Let's see.
How did you come to this conclusion?
He was accused of... what was it again? I remember someone mentioning it. And me thinking, that's impossible. The whole thing didn't match up.
I looked away, and that's my mistake. I'm gonna reload it. I'm not gonna miss opportunities. I'm gonna keep 100%. That's my mistake.
Mr. I'm glad you... Thank you. My name...
So...
Yes.
It
Just to be...
keep
So, what...
on with...
Was it?
Missing nothing.
It's more...
Please describe...
short.
What kind of command?
He ordered...
Can you tell...
We made...
So we've had all this, so let's...
Why did...
Because we hope...
Were your...
But more...
If somebody... For how long did Mr.
Oh, this is
Feldman
new.
talk to Mr. Schwarz?
It was just a short meeting. Maybe for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Were there any... How did...
They went... No. The district... Mr... To...
I can... I remember.
So also the chair. There it is.
Was it... Was your...
We...
How did...
We...
Don't think I missed anything.
Who
With a...
did Just a bucket?
Dave...
I missed something. Oh yeah, this one's.
How?
Up and that's...
How did you
We
fit into this local group?
I have always proudly done my duty.
There we go. There we go. Now we're back in track.
What did Mr.
The group leader
Do you remember?
he told
The story's really good.
And did you shoot the prisoner?
no, I did.
There you go.
How did you come to this conclusion?
He was accused of what was it again? I remember someone mentioning it.
Just a second. I have that somewhere.
Let me see. It's one of this two. We won the actual report.
According to this block warden's report, Mr. Naumann had torn down a Reich flag and beaten up the block warden.
Yes, that was it. Look, the man we had captured there. I'd have counted him lucky if he was able to get out of bed every morning. Besides, group leader Faltmann himself had said earlier that we had only taken him hostage. Him and Kibitz had hoped that the perpetrator would turn himself in if they held the old man hostage.
Why did they assume that?
Because the perpetrator was the son of the old man. That's what they believed, at least.
So they had hoped the son would come to get his father released?
Exactly.
But you didn't think their plan would work?
Doesn't matter what I was thinking. You can't just go and take a fellow German hostage.
How did your superior take your refusal?
Not well. He yelled, and I argued.
Do you remember your words?
I told him that it made no sense and that we should refrain from doing that. Group leader Faltmann then threatened me. He said he'd report me to the Gestapo, that I would be severely punished, possibly killed.
But you still refused.
I did. I just couldn't do it.
Oh. What was the gun used? That's the question.
I left the room. Outside the cell, I met Kibitz, who was about to enter, a gun in his hand, cocked. The next thing I hear is the shot.
What gun did he use? Does it not allow me to even ask? I'm missing one information. I think it's here. No. There it is.
How was working under this?
You easy.
So what you are saying is that Mr. Kibitz shot him.
He did indeed. I know it.
What about the gun?
Why would he do that? What was his reason?
What do I care about his reason? What he did was wrong. That's why I'm glad the case has been reopened. You break the rules, you get punished. That's the way it should be.
We will make sure the right people face the consequences, Mr. Schickert.
What about the gun? That's the
Thank you for
gun.
coming in.
The pleasure is all mine. Goodbye, Miss Katz.
Interesting. The suspects contradict each other in multiple aspects. I should see if I can make some sense of this on the blueprint and get this meeting with Peters over with.
Now that was quite... Somebody sure can't say I envy your job right... Apart from that,
Are there any updates?
I suspect I already sound like a broken record. Sadly, no news yet.
Dang.
I need you.
Of course.
Just one man left.
Will do, Miss Katz. Miss Katz, there was a call for you. Actually, it was multiple calls.
I'm right next to you. I don't know where you... Alright, first let me work on this. So... Kibitz came here, and so far it's being... So, Farman ordered him... Okay, so... Stage 1, who ordered the execution? Nobody. Who went into the cell where Kibitz was in the cell? Then we have 5th, who shot? So it wasn't you who shot it. You left, it was Kibitz who shot. Who threatened Gestapo if the order was refused? So Kibitz was here. Then you were here. Farman threatened. I need to look at the pictures to remember it. He threatened. He left. Kibitz came in and shot him. Who ordered the execution? Step into the hallway where me and Kibitz were. Okay, so Mr. Farman and District Leader Squid stepped out into the hallway. Mr. Kibitz gave the order execution. Mr. Farman and District Leader Squad stepped onto the hallway where me and Kibitz were. The District Leader gave the order for execution. So at one point everyone was. District Leader. Who actually gave the order? We don't know. Or they need to follow him into the compartment where... So Kibitz did not follow, supposedly. That's what we're getting. So he went back in here. So we get... No, you went back here. You were here. You went here with him. Then... You apparently defied the order, threatens, and then you leave into Mr. Kibitz. He enters the cell and her gunshots. That's what I have so far.
Who do I want to call?
Who called me?
Never mind.
I gotta ask who called me.
Yes, Paula?
It's your mother.
Did something happen? Is something wrong?
Oh, no, everyone is doing fine. More than that, splendid.
Right.
She just wanted to talk to her daughter, very urgently.
Who do I want to call?
Katz.
Mom, what happened? You've been calling non-stop.
Essie, are you all right? We've been so worried.
It's a good game. I'm liking this.
I'm good, Mom.
But that dreadful article. No.
I'm fine, Mom.
But.
I mean it, Mom.
Well, you poor. I just hope no one else figured out. Oh, how embarrassing.
You can't be serious.
But I am. Very much so, Essie dear. People are confused enough about the origin of your father's name as is. Now, with that article, I'm just afraid.
I see.
But enough of that. Let's focus on the now.
What? You can't just...
I just invited the Müllers for...
The
You were just
Mullers?
talking about me destroying our family. And now you want to tell me all about the Müllers?
Oh, don't be... You have to come. I'm dying...
Who are the Müllers? Do I...
I don't think you have met them yet. They just moved into the piano floor of the house opposite.
Wait, Did the Webers move out?
No, the other house. The Langs. You remember the Langs, right? Thomas Langs. He used to work at the bank.
What kind of dark is this now?
You used to play with their daughter. Black hair, a ponytail, always got her dress dirty. I just can't remember her name.
Oh, the friends.
I really don't know who you're talking about. Anyway, I can't this weekend.
Oh, what a pity. The Müllers are really nice people.
Good for them.
And they have this good-looking son.
Oh.
Mom!
All right, just mentioning it. Another weekend then.
I need to get back to work.
A shame.
Sure. Bye, Mom.
Goodbye, Esther.
Okay. Update. I think that's the last thing I have left.
Miss Katz, I take it your sparring with Mr. Peters went well?
He was very collegial.
Yes, I've heard the two of you don't see eye to eye. I'm glad to see it hasn't proved to be an issue. Now, how's your work progressing?
I've interrogated two of ours. They contradict each other in almost all of their claims. Can't even agree on who was present for the murder. Yet at the same time, both testimonies share many similarities.
Please elaborate.
They agree on the events, if not on their roles. Both claim Schwarz gave the order, that somebody tried to resist but was threatened, that one of them shot. But was it Schickert or Kiebitz? That's where the accounts differ.
To be expected. At least we have a rather reliable timeline. Very well, considering the nature of this investigation, I'd say it's still proceeding apace. One suspect left. Hopefully, he will be able to clarify some of our doubts. Either him or the files. Which would leave us with one final issue. Court. Once you've heard the final testimony, you need to prepare to present your case. That means reconstructing the course of the crime and finding proof that would back it.
Ooh.
As mentioned, Mr. Peters will help you out. Teach you how to present your findings, prove your claims. It will help you to familiarize yourself with the ins and outs of court. We cannot afford to fail at court, and preparation is the key to success. That's why I urge you to start with your training right away and build your theory. Once you hear from all witnesses, we need to move to court quickly. I hope it's all clear?
Yep.
Of course.
I did. I did. What is
With
this?
so many smokers here, I doubt this. They are supposed to be good for you, though. Like,
What? No. I'm kind of gonna go with this story for now.
Oh, good you're here. Mr. Peters asks me every 5 minutes where you are and when you're coming. Not only Peters' patience is growing thin.
is everything okay?
I don't want to sound unprofessional, but working with him is a pain.
Understandable.
Why does he always have to be so rude?
I don't know what his problem is, but I...
Well,
Oh shit, the bot. I might get rid of the bot, to be honest.
Honorable Miss Katz, would you be ready then?
I think so. How are we going to do that?
I will act as defense and court, and you will do your part.
What do you mean exactly?
You are Esther Katz, the famous prosecutor. No case too hard, no challenge too high. Remember?
Haha.
You present your prosecution, support your conclusions with evidence, and win the case. And I'm trying to stop you from doing just that. Should be a piece of cake. For one of us, at least.
Start your presentation your theory to the court by pressing play on the blueprint. No, he'll be taken care of. I don't want to stress him out.
Alfred Faltmann, the local group leader, ordered the execution. One of the accused.
Now it is up to the defense, in this case me, to object if they disagree with your statement. Objection. According to the witness statement, it was Mr. Schickert who gave the order. Now the judge will try to find out who is right and ask you to back up your statement with evidence. Can you support your claims with meaningful evidence?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman.
There's no need to be so formal. It's only a mock trial.
I just want to be prepared. Can I continue?
Sure.
This should prove it.
This year. With one official
This says
document.
nothing about them ordering the execution. Did you even read the document you just presented?
What?
This is serious business, Cuts. We are trying to put almost the whole... We can't... You are on the... I would suggest for you to go back to the blueprint board and rethink your theory.
I must have missed something when I was preparing the case files.
That's it for now, then.
Peters?
Shit. Okay. I missed something. Mrs. Squat. Okay. Let me try again. I probably submitted the wrong document.
Let's get this over with.
This time, I'm back.
I hope so.
His execution was ordered by Herbert Schwarz, the district leader for the city of Munich. As the senior member of the NSDAP involved in the crime, he bears the maid. Mr. Schwarz is unfortunately deceased, and as such, this does not, however, absolve his subordinates of their culpability.
Objection. According to the witness statement, it was Mr. Schickert who gave the order.
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. If you would take a look at this.
Okay. So let's see. We have 3 documents. The victim would have filed criminal for the act identified. No, that's not it. To defend Soha from you. We were able to identify 4 possible suspects. Dear Mr. Norman, the above mentioned procedure was communist insurgent care highly reason. Prove that Mr. Squads gave the execution order. The very he had been considered missing ever since. First suspect identified. None of them help though. None of the 3 documents prove. That's the thing. None of them really help. Like, what is this helping me here? The only one I can think that might have been is police report, but none is proving the fact that the order was given. I might have failed this one, so I'll
This
just say
document clearly states that it was Mr. Schwarz who gave the order.
it's gonna be a fail.
Not bad, Cuts, but not great either. If that's all the prosecution can come up with, the case is as good as lost. Knowing the right answers is often not enough to win your case. You also need to form the right conclusions. Conclusions the court is willing to follow because they are plausible and because you can back them up with evidence. A valid conclusion is always based on several clues. The one clue we are very certain is true is that Schwarz gave the command. So your conclusion should be based on that. Open your case file and give it a go.
Who ordered the conclusion? Who ordered the execution? The former prosecutor mentioned it in his this report. Add it to your first clue. Execution ordered by district leader. Ah, there it is. Two more evidence. Stepped out in the hall where Mrs. Scott were standing. The district leader gave the order for execution. And then I think the other one would be the second transcript. Like both of them said the exact same thing.
This makes sense.
After complete conclusion, it will be shown conclusion prepared in the conclusion menu. Please keep in mind that it does not confirm the conclusion
I think
correct.
I got it.
Shoot.
We have several consistent statements that Schwarz gave the order to shoot. There are no discrepancies in the testimonies. It says so in the files, and Mr. Schwarz stated it himself in 1947. Therefore, I conclude the order to shoot Hans Naumann came from District Leader Herbert Schwarz.
Congratulations. Well done, Katz.
Thank you.
If you argued just as coherently in court, this might go better than I expected.
Thank you.
However, it was not particularly difficult, and it will probably not be that easy again. Still, well done.
Thank you, Peters.
Oh, I have a headache
Enough
on that.
practice. Your case is waiting. Keep up the good work.
What now?
You can't finish your theory before hearing that last witness. So you could go home. Personally, I like to be prepared, so I tried to see if I can find more conclusions. But I was always willing to go that extra mile. You do you.
Peters?
Katz?
There's nothing left for me to do. I should call it a day.
I probably do need to do that. I don't know how to open it though. How do I open that part? How would I submit that stuff? Let's see. All right. Let's go hear the last witness, because... Jeez, I'm getting tired. Check my inbox. Ignore her.
Good morning, Miss Katz.
Good morning.
Oh,
Good morning. As I assume Mr. Perry wants to talk to you. The document from Berlin should be arriving late today. If you need any others, I might still help if you must get them in the end of the day. Okay. Hungary invaded.
The door is locked.
Miss Katz! Miss Katz!
Okay, you're not talking to me? I don't know why. Oh, what is this? Jewish pig. We know where you live. We know what you do. We are watching day and night. We see you. The German people have been through enough because of vermin like you. You shall burn with the rest of the kind instead of disappearing. Oh, okay. That's crazy. Oh, don't let them stop
Who do
you.
I want to... He's not picking up.
Okay.
Miss Katz!
Is that all she says? Miss Katz? I give it... There it is.
Mr. Feldman has just arrived. He's waiting in the conference room.
Mr. Right. Thank you. I'll be right there.
Is everything all right?
It was a threat letter.
A threat? Oh. Oh dear. I'm so sorry.
It's fine, really.
Hmm.
Can't say I wasn't warned about this job. Professional risk, right?
Unfortunately. Still, if there is anything...
Yeah, it's fine. Alright, let's see this. Last person.
Mr. Feldman, my name is Esther Katz. I am investigating the death of Hans Naumann in 1945.
What are you investigating? The case has been closed.
Both are
New evidence has
negative
come to light.
about it.
My department and I are checking whether the case needs to be reopened.
Sounds like wasting the German state's money. Just one question. Your name, Esther Katz. Are you Jewish?
The name is often Jewish, but I am not.
That's good to hear.
Mr. Feldman, please tell me what happened on April 28, 1945.
Look at those dead eyes.
My superior asked me to arrest some sort of insurgent. A simple task I gave to my subordinates. I was quite surprised when I saw who they brought. I asked if they were sure they got the right man. The crimes that had been committed.
I must interrupt you. I was told a different version.
What is this? First, I was a home to you.
Mr. Feldman, you were the local group leader at that time, correct?
That is correct, miss.
According to our witnesses, one of the men who took the victim from his house had the insignia of a local group leader's, with, of course, none of the other members of your group bearing that rank. Why then do you claim it was your subordinates who brought the man to you? And how could you be surprised by the suspect's identity if you arrested him yourself?
Oh.
I don't know. It was such a long time ago.
Mr. Feldman, I must inform you that you are legally obliged to speak the truth here.
Don't you snap at me, young lady. The whole thing happened over 10 years ago. I must have simply remembered it wrong.
Oh.
Either way, I still wanted to release the suspect. That's how it was.
They changed the story a bit. See,
But Schickert insisted, so we took him back to the district office. Schickert and Kiebitz waited in the corridor as I spoke with the district leader, Mr. Schwarz. But he dismissed my doubts. Alfred, my man, you worry too much. It wasn't my place to doubt his decision, I thought. So we left his office and he gave the order.
see, did you notice how both of them, like, so, what hold on. So, Kiebitz and Alfred were both, like, super negative about the case being reopened, but Skiker, the tall guy with the mustache, is, like, excited about it.
What did he say?
That for his crimes against the German people, the prisoner was to be executed.
Can you tell me more about your local group?
We were Schwarz's hands, so to speak. While most local groups were responsible for a section of the city, we were assigned directly to the district office.
How did the men react?
I can't recall. It has been quite a while. I think they were a bit uncertain. Kiebitz, at least. I wanted to discuss the order further, but Schwarz went back to his office.
This seems so fishy.
What about you? What was your role in the district?
As a group leader, I made sure Mr. Schwarz and the party's will were enforced in the city. He needed somebody he could trust, someone who would see to it that order was maintained. That was me.
What can you tell me about working for Mr. Schwarz?
It was a true honor. Comrade Schwarz was an exemplary German and a magnificent leader. I have him to thank for my work ethic. I learned much from his example. We all did.
Can you tell me more about Karl Schickert?
A damned idealist. He wouldn't shut up about duty and Prussian values. Still, I can't say anything bad about his work. Always diligent, hardworking, and unbearable perfectionist.
What can you tell me about Mr. Kiebitz?
Exemplary subordinate. Loyal. One of the few people among that band of ingrates I knew I could rely on. Unfortunately, Schwarz knew that as well. Kiebitz might have been a member of my local group, but he mostly worked directly for the district leader.
Was the victim your only prisoner at the time?
It's been almost 15 years, for God's sake, woman.
11.
You can't honestly expect me to remember details like that.
When did you move to the cellar?
2 months back, mid-February. After those pigs burned Dresden.
Did many prisoners share the victim's fate?
If they deserved it.
Did the group members drink on duty?
It was clearly forbidden. We did our best to enforce this rule even in those days. But most likely they still did. Just learned to hide it well.
They seemed to scream forever, and you could still hear the bombs falling. What happened after Mr. Schwarz left the hallway?
We went to the captive. Kiebitz, Schickert, and I. I was hesitant, of course, but again, it wasn't my place to question Mr. Schwarz. And let's be honest, in those times, heads rolled pretty quickly for defying orders.
It's getting hard because I'm trying to keep neutral, even if they're being, horrible towards me.
Did you have any contact with the surrounding local groups?
Of course. We had an older model radio station connecting us with the rest of Bavaria. Or what was left of it at that point in the war. Mostly other groups around Munich.
A brewery cellar seems a weird place for a district office.
He did slip
How
up
did
of
you
the
have enough
star,
power
which
for it
kind
to
of...
function?
Often we didn't. All those Allied bombs made sure of that when they leveled the city. We had to rely on our backup generator. That and oil lamps. Then we entered the cell and I saw the captive up close. How I realized I just couldn't follow through with it.
But you were the one who
I told
arrested
my
it.
men to stop.
What did you tell them?
That this could not have been our man. We had to convince the district leader to reconsider.
Did they agree with you?
Kiebitz did, but Schickert, on the other hand, he wouldn't even consider it.
The place was a brewery. Did you prepare the cells for the prisoners?
Not personally, but yes, a few rooms were modified adequately.
Let's see.
How long were the prisoners usually kept there?
Can't say. It depended on the case. However long it took for justice to be served.
And what does adequately mean?
It's been a while, miss. And I can't say it was something that occupied me. They were for criminals. The man was a maniac. Usually harmless, obsessed as he was with hierarchy. But at that point he had this fanatical look on his face.
What did he say to you?
That he would report me to the Gestapo. Now, you know what that would mean, but that didn't matter. I knew Mr. Schwarz. I knew he would understand. I ordered Schickert to stay put and left the cell, looking for the district leader. I was certain I could convince him this time.
Did you succeed?
I didn't get the chance. I was halfway through the hallway when I heard it. A gunshot. Schickert had gone through with the execution.
How do you know? I thought you had left the room.
Right. But it must have been him. He was so persistent about following the order.
Too many gaps. Too many gaps. There's too much gaps in the story. It's a bit of a struggle now. Also, I'm missing some information here. Let's see. I would guess it's in this. There it is.
You said you had mentioned your doubts to Mr. Schwartz.
I did. I tried to convince him to reconsider. Unfortunately, he remained unbudging.
Do you remember how long the two of you talked?
Well, now that's... well, can't say. It must have been a while. Quite a while. I did try my best. Unfortunately, once again, it wasn't enough.
I need one more. Oh, what is this?
What happened if you or Mr. Schwartz caught any of the group members drinking?
Usually I took pride in running a tight ship. You smell of alcohol while on duty? Dismissed. But at that point, they got away with just a slap on the wrists. We needed all the hands we could get, drunk or not. And with the Yankees on the streets, we all heard the bottles calling.
If they were dismissed for drinking, what would be the punishment for disobeying an order?
Is he not answering?
So, just to confirm, Mr. Schickard shot while you were not in the room any longer?
That is correct. And that is all I know.
Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Feldman.
I take back what I said in the beginning, Miss Katz. Perhaps it is right to reopen this case after all. Have a good evening, miss.
That's all the witnesses. Let's see if I can make some sense of this.
Miss Katz, 1 second. If you have a moment, I have something for you.
I can't exit my room. Oh.
So, I know it doesn't balance out the morning, but there's at least some good news today. One word, Berlin.
Did the document center come through?
Here you go. Personal files for Kibitz, Schickard, and Feldman.
Finally.
Right? Just in time.
I know that you have just questioned the last witness. Have you discovered any new leads? With a few calls, I might be able to get hold of a few more urgent documents for you. But I would need to do so right now, and I can't guarantee they'll make it in time.
There's no need, Paula. Thank you. I better get back to the reconstruction board then.
Okay, new documents available. Oh, come on.
Esther Katz speaking. Hello? Anybody here? Great. Not disconstruct.
Someone apparently. Okay, new documents. There it is. Chief of Police of Berlin, Division 2, Hansa. This one contains the following information about Hans. Hairdressing trade, soldier from... Yep. Worked as driver. No criminal record except for begging. Proven to be good member. File closed. Okay. So he was the driver. Member number. Wait. Hold on. Bookmarks. Where's our gun bookmark? 428 3012. 428 3012. Okay. None of them had the gun. Wait, Skumid. Why 428? Maybe I got the gun wrong. Let's continue looking through this. Okay. 2 years trades career path, locksmith apprenticeship. And this guy, career path, elementary school to apprenticeship, married, 2 children, some fell in Russia, no criminal record. What group leader, head office. See, we're missing some numbers here, which makes this a bit more difficult. Alright, I'm gonna use my little notepad here. I actually have like a notepad that I can note stuff down. Alright, we're gonna fully analyze this together before we go any deeper, because we might be missing some stuff. So we have 2 refusals and 2 different asks. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go to the case file, open the old case, find the part where it talks about gun. So reveal that he was killed by, let's note this down. He was killed by 7.65 millimeter brown calibre gunshot. Okay. Now we have different guns. There they are. You know what? This could be wrong. So this is probably not correct, I'm gonna be honest. There's 765 multiple. 765 brown caliber. So, I'm gonna note down and then I'm gonna mouch. So we have, I'll put all the numbers down. So we have the Mauser. You know what? It probably means caliber as this and Browning. So we have 2 here. I feel like it could be this one. So I'm going to note down. 518 6332. And then the other one is 535 8623. 535 8623. 8623. Okay. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take this information and I'm going to compare it with their IDs. 518 535. 518. So far, this gun matches. It worries me the fact that that gun matches so far. .535. So was he the killer? Because like so far I have the gun matching to him. But at the same time, there's a good chance the gun was like taken from someone. Here's the thing, there's a chance that the gun was not under his possession, which could be a possibility. Browning. 765 Browning. Oh, this is so confusing. Military trained as well here. So we have this one, which is so far the cool mustache guy. (8623). Who's 8623? Do we have anyone 8623? (8623). No, okay. So far, he's the ground suspect right now. (332). But here's the thing. Military trained. Wait, group leader, base manager. Wait. 482. Where's 482? 482. Okay, so he is group leader. Okay. Oh, this is a headache. Talk to Simon Pierce. Finish your theory under construction board. So my theory, there's a good chance he's lying, especially since we have proof about the gun. Even though the other two have a really shit character, the story is a bit off in aspects. Because technically, they arrested, but he lied. So we know this is 100% correct. Squads order it for them to be Now, the second part is what I lose a bit. By the way, feel free to write theories if you go on. Mr. Bauman ordered Mr. Siggins and me to follow him into the compartment where Mr. Nauman was held captive. Mr. Fa ordered me to follow him into the compartment. Mr. Kibbutz, Mr. Singh, and me walked into the cell. So we know for a fact all three of them are here. This is the most matching story so far. All three of them were in the compartment. Now what we're missing is going to be the last point. Mr. Fallon told me to shoot the suspect but resisted. I saw Mr. Nauman bent by age and refusing to follow order. Where's the help do? Nothing. Per an official. Mr. Fallon saw the victim and refused to order. These two are consistent. Who resisted the order? But he says he resisted. And then, who threatened Gaspar with the order? And then, what happened? And the gun is consistent with the ID, that's the thing.
Esther Katz?
Essie, it's good to hear your voice. I hope I'm not disturbing you. I know your mother's little parties. I shouldn't have brought up your work in the first... I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lose.
Don't worry.
I was. With that said, I'm calling because it's close, isn't it?
I hope it goes well.
Oh, no. I remember that I'd go over...
Thank you, Father.
But Esther, after the trial... I'm sorry, but please, it's not too late to leave.
I'll think of...
That's all I...
By the way...
Anything.
Were you ever sent...
That's a very...
Please, Dad.
All right. A few times. Yeah, just don't tell your mother. God knows that's the last thing she needs.
I just got one.
Ah, of course. That's much earlier than I knew. Bauer wasn't a good...
Earlier?
At some point, we all, or most of us at least, especially...
What should I do?
Nothing to do, I'm afraid. It's just a letter. Nobody would...
Yes.
That's a good... But it's... You're a servant as for person. No.
Well...
I understand. Good luck.
don't know how I feel about this, because, like, story-wise, it's from what I've collected. Why would they lie? They arrested the wrong man. I guess their plan went wrong, and so... I don't like this. This is...
What?
Bad time?
Not like there's any other. But yes. Tell me, Katz, has anyone been to my office?
Not that I know of.
No help, unsurprisingly.
So, what is this about?
Someone was here. Just don't say anything. Someone was here, in my office, going through my documents, through my files, through my cases.
Why do you think someone was here?
I have my ways of knowing.
Right.
Oh, yes, right.
So, what can we do?
Well, Wait. You believe me?
He's a
That's
madman, but I believe
a
him.
new one. Huh. Thank you. I think. Right. What now? I wish I knew. More locks? I need to at least change the current ones. That's for sure.
What do you have here anyway? What's the case?
All right. It might actually be for the best if somebody else is also familiar with it. Just in case. And it's not like you can be my thief. So what's the harm?
I'm all ears.
It's best to be
What
nice.
do you know about the camps?
Probably less than you.
Concentration camps. Ted Himmler's solution for those Jews sent to starve and work themselves to death, or worse. Imagine this. Overcrowded, makeshift wooden structures as the cold, cramped death. Children all forced to do brutally hard labor. And then there's the rest of the camp. Watchtowers along the entire length, of course, with searchlight. And here, get to the case. Should anyone try to escape, Camp Guard were on strict orders to no warning shots, but the number of such
I've actually
incidents
won one of them. It's a heavy
it just
place to
doesn't
be.
add up.
All right, so you need to prove they lied. How do you do it?
You're thinking too small. It's not just the guard, not just what they did. It's that they were allowed to do it. Do you really think their superiors didn't know what was happening? Do you think it was some kind of unauthorized behavior? Rest assured, it was very authorized. So yes, we need to prove they lied, that they murdered the prisoners. But more importantly, I, need to prove who knew about it and allowed it to happen. And let me tell you, the suspect list, it's something.
I guess
Miss
I got
Katz, are you finished with the case?
Remind me, why do we need to get...
In short, because the last of our cases are from 1945. And there are so many of them that with the manpower if a case takes too long to prepare...
I believe I'm done, yes.
Right. I'll start writing the indictment then. I hope we can get... Shall we go to court then?
On second thought...
I won't be...
Let me save the game.
Miss
Let's
Katz,
do this.
are you...
I believe...
Right. I hope... Shall we...
Let's go to court.
Bob for sure. But then go home. That's for sure, Bob. Yep. I think I'm ready. I could be wrong, but I could be the guy with the mustache. You have to keep it neutral, but the gun that was shot was his, even though they did not see it.
Order. Court is in session. In the case of the German people against members of NSDAP Local Group Munich, the defendants stand accused of the murder of Hans Naumann.
Judge Ernst Braun presiding, with counsel Esther Katz speaking for the prosecution. Counsel Rudolf Scham representing the defendants Kiebitz and Faltmann. And counsel Sigmund Hauptner representing the defendant Schickert.
How do you plead?
Innocent.
It's not guilty.
Not guilty then.
Not guilty, of course. This whole investigation is a farce.
Not guilty, Mr. Chairman.
I call on the prosecution. Miss Katz, it's time to present your theory.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. His name was Hans Naumann. He was 77.
Important, don't
retired,
declare.
innocent. He
You
had
try
a
and
wife,
prove.
Mrs. Ludmilla Naumann, whose testimony you've heard today. Together, they lived in a small house in the suburbs of Munich. A simple, small family, like so many others. They had an adult son, Jan. He was staying with them at the time. He wanted to help them around the house. At least till the end of the war, he'd say. On that morning, none of them could know that in only 2 days, their nightmare would be over. 2 days. 48 hours. That is, if not for the accused. Mr. Chairman, on April 28th, Hans Naumann was shot dead. Taken from his house under false pretenses, he was brought to the temporary location of the district office. He was locked in a brewery cellar, a damp storage room adapted into a makeshift cell. That's where, shortly later, he would be killed. His execution was ordered by Herbert Schwarz, the district leader for the city of Munich. As the senior member of the NSDAP involved in the crime, he bears the main responsibility for Mr. Naumann's death. Mr. Schwarz is unfortunately deceased and as such cannot be tried. This does not, however, absolve his subordinates of their culpability.
Thank you, Miss Katz. Does the defense have anything to add?
No, Mr. Chairman. We agree with the version presented by the prosecution.
See, it was all Schwarz.
That's right, we were just following his orders.
Silence! Mr. Scham, please remind your defendants
I'm like quiet because I'm like so focused into this.
In court. Let the record show that the prosecution and defense are in agreement. Let's proceed. Miss Katz.
Okay, now this is where it becomes difficult-ish. So this so far is something I can work with.
The defendants went to the prisoner's cell.
Objection, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Schickert has testified, under oath, that it was only himself and local group leader Faltmann who went to the cell.
It's the truth. Kiebitz was too busy kissing Schwarz.
That's enough. Mr. Schickert, do remember where you are. Miss Katz, can you present any evidence?
Certainly.
Okay, so now... Review and edit your prepared conclusion to create a new one. So we do have proof. So I do have the files to prove it. So if you look at the transcript, yep, Mr. Fowler the shirts and me to follow him to sell. Submit. There's another one. Follow him to a cell. Mr. Feldman asked me to follow. Mr. Kibbles, Mr. Shun, and I walked into a cellar compound where the Sebastian were held. I don't have a third way of proving. This is challenging, honestly. I don't know who shot the gun. Also, it says military trained, but over here, it doesn't actually say. Trade school. Alfred Volkman. So he detained him. Because they want to take them as they want to take him as a, like, you know, victim. Was recognized at the power organization. Oh, I'm missing the third document. I don't know what the third document is. This doesn't help. That's a picture. It doesn't... I have nothing to prove it. Like, I'm missing the third document to prove it.
I don't see how this objection sustained. Let the record show that... Please continue, Miss Katz.
Wait. Wait. No, I just realized, look, he's admitting the fact that he was in that room. You know what? I get the feeling I know. I kind of believe him.
Having seen the victim, Mr. Schickert began to question the order.
Because he wasn't at the scene. He was not at the scene.
And physical frailty were evident. How could this be the man? How could he be guilty?
Because he didn't see the man.
The defendants had arrested him for tearing down a flag from its flagpole and beating up an officer. A tall flagpole. A young officer. Mr. Schickert concluded the man to be innocent. He refused to shoot.
Objection, Mr. Chairman. As both Mr. Kiebitz and Mr. Feldman testified, the one to question the order was Mr. Feldman. He had doubted its validity and attempted to stop the execution.
I'm about to show.
Regretfully, he was unsuccessful.
Miss Katz, if you have any...
Gladly, Mr. Chairman.
I do. This one I can prove it. See. So, if we go in the case file, okay, and we go in the transcripts, a small man grabbed hands and said to me, "Don't worry, Miss, once your turn to serve in." So that's one. This is definitely one of the things. The other one, it's gonna be... Hold on. The other thing is gonna be this, that he submitted... That he filled up this form to say, hey, this is the guy. There should be one more. One more I can work with. In the case of John Police. In the case first name John. So they both. Let's see.
I'm not sure I follow your reasoning here. Is there anything else you can provide?
Proof rejected? No! There was an official order on how to deal with insubordination. Try again. Who resisted the order? Dang, I am really bad at this. But just stop, Onja. All ranks that Listig held in the local group are revoked for him. Listig is not allowed to jump. The base manager arrest was made possible thanks to the righteous dim. What is this? Hold on. Chief Secretary Police Gestapo. District Leader H Squads. Okay. To the district. Concerning the incident with the base manager. Let's see.
I remain unconvinced.
Come on! I got this. There was an official order on how to deal with subordination. One of the suspects was removed from the party at some point. Base manager's arrest. So this does not help me. Activity. The prisoner is to be immediately executed as traitor German national. Let's try again.
I can give you one more chance, Miss
No,
Katz.
come on. What am I missing here? There was an official order on how to deal with insubordination. One of the suspects was removed from the party at some point. The date of the removal can be connected to the date of the murder. For the Mrs. Nichols. This has nothing to do with it. Here, I need to draw a conclusion. So, this does not help me. Let's see. On the 5th of January. And had been considered missing since. The victim was filled criminal complaint. This does not help me, does it? Arrested on the 20th for Kalina. The prisoner is to be immediately executed as traitor to the German nation. Prisoner John Noam was recognized as the perpetrator of an organization. I don't know. I'm actually stumbled. Is this him? Like, is this him? Did he actually murder? Did they arrest him? I have a headache. Was everybody just up on the 5th of January? There was... No, there was an official order on how to deal with insubordination. Okay. There was an order. Where is it? I know definitely there is one. Where is it? So there's their uniforms. Where is it? I think it's that low there. Anyone who probably approves any of measures that would weaken our resistance against enemy is a traitor, must be shot. That's one. Okay. There was an official order how to deal with subordinates. Yeah, one of the suspects was removed from the party at some point. So for that one, there's few theories here. I might need to use a hint. It's... Okay, I'm gonna use a small hint. The date of the removal can be connected to the date of the murder. Okay. So the murder happened on the same day. Is this it?
A
Oh
day
my
after
god.
Hans Norman was shot, Mr. Schickert was removed from his station and expelled from the NSDAP. A punishment that follows to the letter the consequences for insubordination, as outlined by Gau leader Solbrich's order.
Indeed. Mr. Sham, your objection is overruled. Miss Katz, if you would.
Oh my god. Okay. So then we know... Kibitz was in the room then.
With the doubts voiced, threats were soon to follow.
Okay.
Threats by Mr. Faltman. He wasn't going to allow for this sort of insubordination. An order was an order. If his co-defendants continued to object, he would report them. And not just to Mr. Schwarz, to the Gestapo. I trust the implications of such a report are clear.
Objection.
Every time, Mr. Sham?
We cannot truly be sure any threats were actually made. I can assure you, my client never cooperated with the Gestapo.
Exactly. The Gestapo were a bunch of sneaky sadists. Psychopaths. I've never had anything to do with those monsters.
We actually have
Silence,
proof.
Mr. Faltman. Silence.
We actually
Miss
have proof of
Katz,
that.
Can you present any...
Certainly.
I think I have something I can prove. Look at this.
Ludwig Steg, was another member of the defendant's local group. Only 3 months before the events of this case, he was arrested by the Gestapo. While the acts and fate of Mr. Steg are of themselves of no direct connection to this case, I'd like to bring your attention to the beginning of the final paragraph. Mr. Steg was denounced by his direct superior. And who would that be? His local group leader, Alfred Faltmann. Mr. Faltmann may claim he had nothing to do with the Gestapo, but it's a lie.
Thank you, Miss Katz. Objection overruled. Miss Katz, proceed to your next point.
We've established the course of the crime up to its final moment. Only one question remains, the most important one. Who shot? Who killed Hans Naumann?
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't know. I truly don't know. I would like to believe him. But the gun that was shot was his. Let's think. Scrum is annoying. Who? Oh, this guy. See, it's difficult now, because I found that the weapon was not his, but they said that they were out of bullets, so I really want to believe that was Kibitz. Faltmann left. I think Kibitz shot.
Defendant Hermann Kibitz. He might have followed orders. He might or might not have resisted. He might have been coerced. But in the end, the truth remains the same. Hermann Kibitz shot and killed the victim.
Objection.
Once again. Yes, Mr. Sham.
There are 2 witnesses who agree that Mr. Schickert was the one to shoot the victim. Why should we believe that they were lying?
Miss Katz, if you would.
Certainly, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Let me think. How can I prove this? There is a way to prove this. So if we go by guns, so one thing was said was by him. It's all my transcripts. So the only issue I have here is it doesn't submit. I'm just gonna submit the guns and see who it pinpoints, and it's fine.
I don't see how this serves as evidence of your claims. Objection sustained. Let's proceed. I have heard enough. Will the defendants please wrap? Having considered that this court has reached defendant Karl Schickert, born January 3rd, 1912, resident of Mauergasse 4 in Munich. This court finds the defendant not...
No, we will replay this.
Miss Katz.
Real case summary contains spoilers of the solution of the case game. I don't want to spoil this yet. Court procedure 0 of 10. I have the information.
Case. It could seem so small, forgettable. One might almost say insignificant. What is another execution? What is the death of yet another old man?
Damn it.
With all that happened, does it even truly matter? They must have thought so themselves. Kibitz, Faltmann, Schickert. If they thought of it at all. Faltmann made no attempt to hide his satisfaction. He did it. Once again, he was free. He decided to write down his version of the story in the form of a letter. It painted quite a vibrant, if completely untrue, image of his treatment at the prosecution's hand. The letter, censored, of course, was published on the back pages of certain low-circulation publications, those catering to people sharing a similar worldview to Faltmann's. With his part in Naumann's death unproven, Schickert got to walk away, to go back home as usual, kiss his wife, tuck in his
It was
son,
him, wasn't
read
it?
him a bedtime story, one where everything ends well, as if nothing had happened, as if he was a good man.
It was him. Fuck.
Can a man like Kibitz truly be called innocent? In the eyes of the law, of course. If we consider just this specific case, then yes, Hermann Kibitz is innocent, for he did nothing. Yet sometimes doing nothing might just be enough. Had he acted, had he done something, Hans Naumann could still be alive, had any of them for that matter. Instead, they chose to follow orders. Just follow orders. Everybody just followed orders. One could expect Mrs. Naumann to be furious with the verdict, but I don't think she had the strength for it anymore. She had spent it all over those 11 years, wasted it, only for justice to fail her once more. For it failed her. We failed her. And as for our Miss Katz, our work is not easy. More importantly, it is not welcome. We are not welcome. But that's a story for another day.
I want to try again. I want to get this right, especially after that story. We're gonna make this right. I missed something. They might have made a mistake, but I don't think they're the ones who killed him. I think the game bugged. This is a very deep story. I gotta restart the game. We missed something there. What did we miss? What did I miss? I missed something. Why is the gun connecting to the cool mustache guy?
Miss Katz.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
Oh, fuck! Jesus, I don't have time for our... Go, sort our...
I have some questions.
About whom?
One more. I have some.
So?
Thank you. That's all.
Hello, buddy.
And who do you think did it? Any ideas?
I'm gonna try again.
That's what I thought.
Miss Katz.
I believe.
Right. I hope. Shall we go?
Let.
Miss Katz, are you finished?
I believe.
Right. I hope. Shall we go?
Let's go to court.
Alright, it's time. This time we're gonna make it right.
It's time.
Miss Cut, it's time.
Thank you. He had a wife. Together he wanted on that 2 day. That is, Mr. Chair. On Abe take he was that's.
So I have 2 testimonials.
His as this Mr. Schwartz. This.
Thank you. No. Silent. Let's.
Now this part is where I made a mistake originally, is I gave up on this. So I'm gonna play this.
It's the. That's Miss Katz. Can you present any?
Certainly.
It just gives me random documents. So I will grab the transcripts. Here's the 3 transcripts.
I don't see how this serves as evidence of your claims. Objection. Please continue, Miss Katz.
Oh, it doesn't let me even... Oh, I submit this way wrong. Okay, that's fine. I know this
Having
one.
seen as we learn how the defendant taught Mr. he refused.
Object as both. He had doubt.
Miss Katz, if you...
Gladly, Mr. Chair.
Prove it. Easy. Not the transcript, we need the background. So, if they... And then we want... Rakok. Kanto, he told me that they got the trailer and gave his report from the rest so that I could issue the out into the hallway where the crime solicitor always gave. Then told my driver to come with me to my office. The others went, oh, there it is! Oh my god! No, I want to restart. Shit. Oh, there it is. I had the document. Oh my god, I had the document. I had the document. I'll be down. There it is.
A day after Hans a punishment.
D. Miss Katz.
Now, I think this one I did halfway right as well.
With the doubt threats, he wasn't if and I trust.
We cannot. I can.
The side, Miss Katz.
Certainly.
I got this. Damn, I might need to redo it, but that's fine.
Ludwig Steg was an only worthy. I'd like his look, Mr. Fight, but it's a.
Thank you, Miss.
With a step only one who shot, who killed.
The thing is, he killed him.
Defendant Karl. He might have followed, but in the car.
I must object, Mr.
Let's hear.
Mr. Schick, two witness special.
Miss Katz, if you would.
Certainly.
That's the thing. So I can prove it. So first thing first, it's gonna be the list of... Not the list, sorry, my bad. First thing first, we have proof what the gun was. Next, we have... Actually, it's in my bookmarks. We have the list of different guns. And lastly, we have the... Where is it? Lastly, I have his ID that shows the fact that he... It's his gun. There it is. .765 Browning caliber. .765 Browning 332.
Mr. Naumann's wound was identified as resulting from a 7.65 Browning caliber. Only one of the defendants had a weapon with that caliber. An FN Browning model 1900 was given to the party member number 5186332, the defendant Karl Schickert.
Very well. I consider your claims proven. I have heard enough. Will the defendants please rise? Having considered the testimonies presented today, as well as the prosecution's evidence, this court has reached the following verdict. Defendant Karl Schickert, born January 3rd, 1912, resident of Mauergasse 4 in Munich. This court finds the defendant guilty of being accessory to the manslaughter of Hans Naumann. While we believe he did shoot Mr. Naumann, the prosecution has proven he was forced to do so. The prosecution proved you were acting on district leader Herbert Schwarz's official orders. The court considered these mitigating circumstances in this verdict. You are hereby sentenced to 4 years in prison. Defendant Alfred Faltmann, born June 29, 1889, resident of Löwenweg 11, Munich. This court finds the defendant guilty of being accessory to manslaughter, coercion, and perjury. We are convinced that he bears partial guilt in the shooting of the victim. Furthermore, he lied under oath. Mr. Faltmann, you are hereby sentenced to 8 years in prison. Lastly, defendant Hermann Kiebitz, born August 8, 1905, resident of Schweigerweg 12, Hagelstadt, Munich. As no proof of his involvement in the crime has been shown, this court pronounces the defendant free of all charges. Mr. Kiebitz, you are discharged. With that, the cost of this trial will be covered by the defendants. Court adjourned.
Did I do the right thing? Case solution. I could have done it a bit better. I kind of want to get a better rating on this.
The Naumann case. It could seem so small.
Hold on. I can get a better one. I can do this better. I missed the driver part, which was so dumb. Okay, we're gonna go and get a perfect score now. We're getting a perfect score on this. Let's do this. Let's get the perfect score. 3 hours recording.
Miss Katz, I believe. Right. I hope. Shall we go?
Let's go to court.
Nope. Present Bob. I'll show you Bob.
It's time.
There you go. All right, it's time.
It's time to
Thank you. His name, he had a what? Together they hadn't, he wanted to, on that 2 day, that is, Mr. Chan. On April 2, taken, he was locked. That's what.
Okay, so this they all agree.
As this Mr. Schwarz is, this does not.
No, Miss.
See? That's right, we were just...
Silent. Let's proceed.
Next, where is he? The driver went with him.
The defendants Faltmann and Schickert went to the prisoner's cell.
Objection. As per Mr. Kiebitz's and
Miss Katz, can you present it?
Certainly.
Yep. We have the document to prove it. Where is it?
One suspect whose account we have not heard remains, Mr. Schwarz.
The account of a corpse. What a mumbo-jumbo.
Mr. Faltmann, please refrain yourself from commenting.
Yes, Mr. Schwarz is dead, but he wasn't during the original investigation. In 1947, he testified that at the time of the execution, he was in his office together with his driver, Mr. Kiebitz. At the time, he was in no danger, as opposed to the defendants today. There is no reason to believe he lied.
Miss Katz, you've proven your point. Please continue.
Perfect. Then he came here. He resisted.
Having, as we learn, how the defense Mr.
Object as both Mr. Kieb.
Miss Katz, if you have...
Gladly, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, then we won the old case. We won this one. Submit. Then we won this one case. We won this. And we need where... this, and then we need this. There you go.
A day after Hans Norman was shot, Mr. Schickert was removed from his station upon it.
Indeed, Miss Katz.
Now they were all together in this room. Ballman threatened.
With the death threats, he wasn't if his and not. I trust.
Object. I can.
The Gestapo.
Silent, Miss Katz. Can you?
Certainly.
Prove it. Yep.
Ludwig Steg. Only 3. Why the acts and I'd like to bring you Mr. His local Mr. But it's.
Thank you, Miss Katz. Proceed.
We've established only one question: who shot? Who killed?
And then we. This was actually so. Surprisingly, I was on point.
Defendant car. He might, but in the car Schick.
I must object.
Let's see.
Mr. Tuwit.
Miss Katz, if you...
Certainly.
There we go. No, hold on. Oh, she shook her head. She was like, hold on. Okay, bomb. Suspects. I'm gonna need your ID. I'm gonna need the old case file for you. And then for last, I'm going to need background. No, suspects. And then I'm gonna need the gun list. There it is. And with that, that should prove that he was the one who shot.
Mr. Now only an F.
Where the prosecutor before...
Yes, there.
Did Mr. Swartz know that the victim was innocent? Fuck, this is different. Hold on.
I was just following orders. We've heard these words today, more than once. That said orders came from Mr. Schwartz was one of the few points on which the defendants agreed. I'd like to bring your attention to another detail that their testimony
Oh, we got
shared.
more.
At no point in any of their recollections did Mr. Schwartz himself meet the victim. It is the prosecution's belief that the district leader never knew who the defendants had brought. Schwartz didn't know the prisoner in the cell was not the man they were sent to arrest, that it was an innocent man. He couldn't know because the defendant Alfred Faltmann lied, both to his superior and to this court. Mr. Faltmann knew whom he took. He knew he was not the culprit. He had taken him as a hostage. Yet, to Mr. Schwartz, he reported bringing in Jan Naumann, the culprit. And so, believing his subordinate, Mr. Schwartz ordered the execution of, once again, Jan Naumann. The shooting of Hans Naumann wasn't legal. The defendants did not follow any order. This innocent man was killed only because of the actions, the insistence, the lies and threats of Alfred Faltmann. Mr. Chairman, the prosecution asks you to find the defendant fully culpable for this death.
Some serious accusations, Miss Katz. What motive did the defendant Faltmann have for this?
He realized it was illegal to take a hostage and tried to cover up his own crime.
Thank you, Miss Katz. I will take this revelation into consideration. Having considered the testimonies presented today, as well as the prosecution's evidence, this court has reached, firstly, in the case of the defendant Karl Schickert, born January 3rd, 1912, residing at Mauergasse 4 in Munich. For the crime of the manslaughter of Hans Naumann, this court finds the defendant guilty as accessory. The prosecution proved that he did shoot the victim, but only did so when forced, having been coerced by his co-defendant. Which brings us to the, at the time, local group leader. Now, the prosecution provided this court with plenty of evidence of the local group's wrongdoings. None of them had as serious and unsettling implications as the final revelation. Defendant Alfred Faltmann, born June 29th, 1889, resident of Löwenweg 11, Munich. In the case of the manslaughter of Hans Naumann, considering the overwhelming evidence of your actions and their direct effect, this court finds you guilty of coercion, perjury, and manslaughter. It stands clear beyond reasonable doubt that it was by your independent initiative that Mr. Naumann was shot, a fact of which defendant Hermann Kiebitz was fully aware and which he decided to hide from this court, making him guilty as accessory to this manslaughter by the act of omission. With that, the cost of this trial will be covered by the defendants. Court adjourned.
100%. 5 years, 5 years, 15 years. Alright, time to see the real case. Local group leader Alfred Faltmann gathered a total of 6 men to arrest insurgent campaign to liberate Bavaria. Failing to find the perpetrators, they arrested Hans Naumann, the father of one of the suspects, instead. Faltmann fast reported to his superior district leader Herbert said that the arrested man was in fact one of the perpetrators. Scott then gave the order to execute the prisoner, believing that he was the wanted insurgent. One of the group members testified in court that they all knew of the victim's innocence. He refused to take part in the execution and left the scene of the crime. Threatening his remaining subordinates, Faltmann enforced execution. Scott and the second group member shot the victim simultaneously. In 1948, Faltmann and the second shooter stood trial murder before the Munich Higher Regional Court. Faltmann in particular denies ever having known about the victim's innocence or being present in the shooting. Alfred Faltmann was found guilty of knowing arrested an innocent hostage, lying to his superiors to issue the execution, and being present at the enforcing shooting. He was sentenced 15 years to prison for manslaughter. The co-defendant and accusers were found guilty of aiding, abetting the manslaughter, and they were sentenced 4 to 5 years in prison, respectively. In the remaining doubtful if they ever had to serve their time, in 1949 and the subsequent 1954, the Federal Republic of Germany enacted a wide-reaching amnesty law, freeing many members of the Associate of the Wehrmacht and the NSDAP itself. Among them were the perpetrators of so-called final phase crimes, such as this one. All names used in the games have been changed. Similarly, the real person bearing these names are purely coincidental. But the story remains true, and is one of many. Wow. 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5. Yeah, perfect.
I've heard those words many times. The courtroom may change, the faces, the clothes, the crimes. But the words stay the same. I just followed orders.
I mean, we only had to play a few times.
It wasn't an order that ended Mr. Nauman's life. They did. With their cowardice, obedience, pride. They all killed Hans Naumann. Men like Feldman don't believe they can be punished. They don't think they should be. All were surprised at his silence when the verdict was pronounced. Him, possibly, most of all. He offered no resistance, no counter, no boisterous denial. For possibly the first time in his life, Alfred Feldman didn't know what to say. Schickert was raving as they brought him out of the courtroom. So what if he pulled the trigger, he yelled. He followed orders. There, those words again. Almost as if he believed them himself. What makes a man lie? Friendship, loyalty, fear. What makes a man so obsessed with terms like honor or duty, simply ignore the murder of an innocent man? Not just ignore it. Allow, aid, facilitate it. For he could have stopped it. All he'd have to do was tell the truth. For he had every opportunity to stop it. Instead, he chose to kill an innocent man. They all did. They all knew what they were doing. They all knew they didn't have to.
This is deep.
All three of them, through their actions or their inaction, they choose. Miss Naumann cried at the verdict. She thanked us. She even tried to smile. I wouldn't say it ended there for her. I don't think it ever did. And as for our Miss Katz, the case was her victory. And it did bring her the recognition she deserved. But with recognition also comes attention. But that's a story for another day.
Righteous man.
Esther, come on!
Alright, folks. That's going to be the end of this episode. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'm going to try and upload the second one as soon as I can. Thank you, everyone, for watching so much. It was lovely. Oh, actually, there was even a report of the bug feature. Shit, I should have done that. Anyways, thank you, everyone, for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like. There's another episode going to be coming out in a couple days, hopefully. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.